Okay, good. I'm trying to unmute myself. Can you see the screen? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, thanks very much. Okay, thanks for the present. Thanks for the organizer of the conference and all the speakers for inspiring discussion so far. So I wanted to contribute a little bit more on the digital technologies, the role of digital technologies to foster rural transformation. I really enjoyed the earlier comment made by Tony from African, the ICT organization. And so it really resonated to me. So we developed a working paper and kind of brief for the preparation of World uh, the Food System Summit coming up in October, September and October time, right? That toward the end of the year. And yeah, we look at what kind of innovations are available in digital technologies and what their role for the food system transformation and what are the challenges that this sector is facing, etc. So I wanted to just share some of the findings we developed and research we developed from the process and also share the findings. Okay, so the digital innovation is really transforming everything we do, and the agriculture is not exception. So for farmers in Africa, for example, digital technologies revolutionize livelihood by connecting them to the market, financial institutions, as we discussed before, and speeding up the change through extension via digital communication channels and taking success to scale by better targeting innovations using more timely and detailed data and data. And research has been showing that innovative application of digital technologies in agriculture also has been enabling more productive, efficient, and resilient food systems. So there are lots of potential and excitement around the possibility of using digital technologies to sort of address the bottleneck of data information in farming, etc. So on the right hand side of the slide, I'm showing kind of 5 use cases of using AI and robotics in agriculture. All are based on the more timely decision making using more granular and real-time data, going from the satellite data and data connected and collected from satellite from the sky all the way to on-farm kind of robotics and technologies in machinery, etc. The better network of sensors in the field to capture better data and running that through some kind of analytics algorithm to better understand what's the kind of situation in the field and how to minimize the risk, etc. So there's lots of innovation happening in the farming sector as well. However, yeah, as the theme of this conference kind of give us kind of ideas, I mean, and also guiding our discussion today, this is not really equitable technological advances. Small-scale producers, for example, in the global south are underserved by digital technologies. If you look at the table on the right-hand side, this is analysis developed by my colleagues in CGIAR and published it early this year, showing kind of globally, if you overlay the coverage of different speed of mobile network in agricultural kind of context, like for example, yield gap, yeah, as previous presenter spoke about, and kind of rainfall reliance, rainfall variability, climate extremes, and also food insecurity and malaria prevalence, for example. You can see the faster internet, faster mobile speed has been kind of covering area with low yield gap, low rainfall variability, and a low level of food insecurity. What it shows is that a lot of challenging areas, high yield gap and high aridity, for example, where this kind of technologies and information can benefit the most, most underserved. So I mean, there are still long way to go to bring this potential of technology to really benefit everyone, including in the rural areas. And another thing we noticed is that kind of extension, digital extension is a really hot topic in agricultural development. However, there is a lack of technical capacity to really utilize data and also interpret research findings to understand how those technology can really benefit the farmers and farming in general. So there are a lot of existing knowledge is not fully utilized. So the localization of information, localization of technology is also very important, but it's often kind of supply driven application is often being developed. It just push it out to everywhere, but yeah, it doesn't always get adopted and get really great impact because the localization part is missing. And I saw one of the Q&A kind of discussion on the chat window also pointing out the language issue. A lot of English kind of content is not being really observed by farmers, totally foreign to that kind of a level of the technical skill and use of jargons and understanding the basic understanding of how the science and research kind of can be utilized in the localized farming, and that's really hard thing to do. So yeah, a lot more research needs to be done. This kind of cartoon, you might have seen this exact cartoon or some variation of this in other contexts. And yeah, I took it really to my heart when I first saw it a few years ago. It's describing kind of 3 levels how the society and justice can be served to everyone, to serve everyone. Equality, so we have seen inequality, not equality, because everyone has different levels of, like for example, accessibility to information and technology. Currently, that's kind of where we are, where we have been discussing for, like, for example, African context. Equity, so with enough support, like this kind of boxes stack up to show everyone what this technology can do beyond the fence. That's the kind of equity. We can bring society to the level of equity by providing support that needed to everyone. But the fence is still there. The barrier of that technology adoption is still there. So that's not quite enough. That kind of provide immediate solution probably for a while, but that's not really sustainable. Really sustainable solution on the right-hand side, the liberation, is the coming up with a solution that can benefit everyone without having to provide continuously investing on this fence, beyond the fence kind of the solution. So situation. So how we can get there? So yeah, there are a lot of challenges that we have to look at: the technical challenges, financial challenges, and also motivating private sector. Also, previous speaker presented. That's really important. Privacy of the information, capability of the actors, and biases in data. And I think it was also interesting to hear about that earlier. So that's really important in the research. So yeah, some of the priority action areas that we came up with. The first is close the human capital gap. Again, like this level of digital literacy is very uneven field. So how we can do that? Also, the coverage of mobile network, coverage internet is very uneven. How we can level the field, that's really important. And this doesn't, it's not going to happen without involving private sector. The connecting all of Africa to the internet is estimated cost 100 billion US dollar. And this is only feasible really with a strong private sector involvement, and how we motivate them to invest in rural areas. That's a really big question, and everyone is trying to kind of address that. In my institute, we are trying to look at carbon financing, some of the green investment opportunity, green finance investment opportunity may be turned into the investment mobile network or something. So there's a really clever private public kind of collaborative idea, and maybe push from this green development agenda can make that happen possibly. But yeah, currently, yeah, there is really difficult value position to bring rural network, rural investment rural network connectivity. It's really difficult. And finally, yeah, because the digital information plays such a vital role in the economy, clear policies and secure infrastructure. We all have seen just it takes one tweet and just one misguided link connecting on the link can blow up all this, secret information, and the information should be kept private can be exposed. I mean, it's really a challenging area to running digital platform, and how we can make that secure environment that make everyone feel comfortable contributing data and sharing knowledge. That's in both digital literacy and secure infrastructure development, and a lot of skill set need to be developed to protect the privacy of farmers and also all the value chain actors. So yeah, it's a very short condensed version of the. I just wanted to add a few points to the speakers previously. Just last slide. I'm not going to present all the detail here. So to address all these challenges, our institute is developing 3-year new program starting next year to focusing on these very issues that I just spoke about, the harnessing digital technology for timely decision-making across food, land, and water systems. We are selecting about 10 countries around the world where we can bring all these research ideas and innovations and then bring private sector partners to solve this problem in local level. And yeah, feel free to contact me and let me know if you're interested in partnering with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Koo. It was a very interesting presentation. Thank you again.